Yes, sir.
Oh, there's no mic over here. Sorry. You got a couple of positions where there's still spots up for grabs. What's the competition been like at those spots?
It's been really, really good. Competition is fierce. It's day by day right now. It's close, which is really good for us as we continue to build depth within our program. And we have a little bit more time to figure out who the guy is, but guys are fighting every day for those spots.
Did you think the competition would go this far into camp and have the season? You think it'd be resolved by now?
I thought at the end of the day, knowing the type of men we brought into our room, they're highly competitive people. I would have been shocked if it would have been concluded earlier, just because that person would have been head and heels above everybody else. But I'm not surprised by that at all. We have highly competitive people in that room, like I've said already, and I'm excited about really the depth we're building along with finding out who those starters will be.
Just curious, someone like Jack Tanner, what sort of leaps have you seen from him since he reported in January to now in camp?
A lot. He has. He's put a lot of work in, and to his own credit, he's very self-motivated. He's very intentional about his work, and I'm really excited from the steps where we got him, knowing how much snaps he played as a true freshman, along with what he went through in spring ball, the off season. He's taken a great step for us this past fall camp, and we're pretty excited about the future of him here.
Bryce missed some time, at least live 11-on-11. How did those guys like Tyler and Amir step up when Bryce was out?
I think that's the beautiful part in our program, as we talk about it all the time. When this game of football is a violent sport, and it's always about the next man up. And when Bryce went down, it provided a ton of opportunity for Tyler Mercer, for Amir, for Anderson Kopp, for Kale Farkas, even Hank Kelly. There are so many young men that stepped up to continue to take reps. And when we can do that, just like most people would want in that room, we have the ability to build more depth. So really pleased with them. They didn't skip a beat. They didn't blink an eye. And that's why we're really excited about where this room is going.
And how's Bryce look to you as of late?
Good. We've been more intentional with ramping him up with reps. And today was the first day we took the restrictor plates off, and he's rolling. So we feel really good with where he's at and where he's headed, and we're excited about what type of season he's going to have.
For some of the younger guys in the room, has anyone kind of stood out to you and been better than expected up to this point?
You guys always do this, and then I don't say someone's name, and then I got somebody's mom calling me. No, I'm joking. There's several though. I hate to mislead you and not put out names, but there's so many of them. Because you guys understand, we lost 6 seniors a year ago, and we had to really dig in, and credit to the recruiting staff and what they did, but we had to bring a ton of young men in through either high school or the portal, and it's been a lot of fun. We got a young room, but we got a hungry room. And there's a lot of guys that are stepping up, and the beautiful part about them is some of them haven't reached their full potential yet. And it's exciting when you say that when they have 3 years, 4 years left. But I'd be remiss just to name a few, but we're really, really excited about that room and where it's going, to be honest with you.
Lance mentioned Amir Herring as kind of having put himself in the conversation at left guard with Tabake and James Livingston. I'm just wondering what your impressions have been of Amir's camp overall so far.
Well, we kind of talked about earlier how he was taking center reps.
Yeah.
And then we would move him to guard. And it's been really, really fun for us, as Amir was probably one of the first people we brought here once I got here to Kansas. And it's been a lot of fun for that young man, as he's just really focused on the process. He was not worried about, am I playing, where I'm playing, where am I ranked on the depth chart. He just came to work every day and just tried to improve, and that's kind of what he's focusing on now. And what's really fun for us now is he's proving to be very, very reliable. Coach Zabrowski talked about that to the offense yesterday, is we're looking for men we can rely on, that we can trust. And in our offensive line room, your ability to be consistent and efficient every play, stack plays and do your job, that's a huge part of what we do up front, or else bad things happen. So he's been really, really good about being intentional about his reps and his opportunities, focusing on just getting better, and he's showing that he can be very reliable.
And then with James at that position, he's been in the program for a while. How has he kind of responded to having competition there?
It's good. It actually, the competition in the room with James, Tabake, and Amir, it's raised all their level of play. And that's exciting for us as coaches, knowing that you know, we will have, I believe this, what we talked about a lot as a staff, we'll have better depth this year with how closely these kids are right now. And it really just comes down to the starting player may just have more consistency in our eyes. But the exciting part is when you have close competitions, it may mean we rotate more than we did a year ago. We may have 7, 8-man rotations. Coach Leipold and I have done that before at previous stops. And we're excited about that because when you can build depth in the offensive line room, we're a better team.
You talked about trust a moment ago. You guys put a lot of trust in Calvin and you called him the guy back in the spring. What's it been like to watch him develop as a leader since then, since you've been trusting?
Very, very exciting. And we don't, I guess as my 10 years as an offensive line coach, we have not really used that word a lot where we just stand at the podium and say, he's the guy. But when you have someone special like Calvin, who is honestly mature beyond his years, it really motivated him and it pushed him. And he's taken steps since we've last talked about him. And it's so exciting for him. I was so excited for him this season. He's been really, really intentional about his work. He's brought people along. I can't speak enough about that young man and just the kind of person and character kid we have in the room, but along with how hungry and how excited he is about his opportunity to move forward and show people what he's done.
Coach Sleeve said when he was first with the program, it was tough to get even 2 words out of him. Was there a moment when that changed, or what was that like from your perspective?
I think it was the same way when we got here first. It was like pulling teeth to have a great conversation with him. But as you continue to build relationships with him and all these young men, they really show a side of you that they're just young men sometimes, and they're just kids, and they want to have fun. Calvin was having a blast today at practice, making jokes, cracking jokes, and he knows that sometimes the energy has to be not tense, it has to be a little bit more lighthearted. And I'm really excited about his maturity in the leadership progress because I do believe there is a great leader within him, and he's showing that more and more every day.
How'd you identify Enrique as someone that you wanted to bring in?
Good question. The portal is fast and furious. It is a sprint. We're sprinting a marathon, basically. There's a lot of tape being watched, a lot of evaluations, a lot of conversations between our recruiting staff. And it goes through a process where it gets filtered through the recruiting staff, through the assistant coaches, to make sure we're on the same page in terms of who we're bringing in and who we're taking. Enrique fell into that. And we were excited about it. And once we had mutual interest from him, we brought him on campus and we knew it was a great fit. So from a skill point standpoint, he's a great fit for us. From a personality standpoint, I don't know if you guys ever got to talk to him or meet him. He's got a wonderful personality now. Great family out in Chicago. I actually recruited him at my previous institution. He'll get mad at me because I did not offer him at my previous institution. But I was at a smaller school and he ended up going to Syracuse. But we identified him as an athlete that we knew we could help build our room and build that tackle spot, and he's doing that right now for us.
How have you seen Kobe continue to grow?
I think his greatest growth right now has been in his leadership. He's always been a tough physical athlete for us, but in terms of his leadership with knowing what the standards are, and I think we talked about this last spring, just understanding the standards and bringing our young players along, being a great sounding board and voice throughout practice. It's been really exciting moment for us just because of his maturity and the maturity he's started to gain as an older player in our room. So I think that's obviously the biggest in our eyes, what's really transpired with Kobe and the steps he's taken.
His enthusiasm and physicality, I guess, is that something that is contagious for the other players in that room?
Yeah, exactly. It is. And a lot of our players see him as a leader in our room. So when he's jumping around, having fun, playing with great physicality, he's a catalyst that way, and everybody wants to start to be the same thing and really just pull off his energy. So that's really exciting.
Anything else for Coach Agpalsa? All right, thanks everyone.
Appreciate y'all.